A huge part of this process is about collecting people's experiences of how it is for them to be in their body. I need to trust people's subjective experience. That's what the whole thing is built on. What do you feel? What do you feel? But then on the other hand, to balance that out, I need an objective, larger structure, some way to place those subjective experiences. So what we do is we have large sheets up on the wall, usually, and we just bring people in. I offer them specific movements, and then we see within this context, how do you experience that movement? Within that context, how do you experience that movement? And we just collect. We're just at the beginning of that piece of work. We're just collecting data now. It's going to take us months, maybe another few years, I don't know. Thief is one for sure, but I think we already have that. Inhale, ooh, thief. Robber.
Parasite.
What?
Parasite.
Yeah. Parasite, that's a better word. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get some more articulation, some useful articulation, let's say, around what different types of movements do people do in their lives to fulfill certain roles, certain functions. Here we go. Ooh, ah. There's something about the eyebrows, that it seems like he likes, but he's still a bit insecure.
Yeah.
I think I'd just like to ask her to try, because she made this and then she's just changing these to make another one with a simpler thing that doesn't have a haircut, just so we can see what it looks like. This is, of course, modeled after me. Right now we're in the process of making interactive online personality assessment instrument. What that means, online interactive personality assessment instrument, is that we'd like to take all this work that we've been doing in mapping different types of energy in the body and how that manifests through people's physicality, their health, their physical health, their emotions, and their thoughts and their activities in the world. The question was how to take all this research and make it usable for people, that they could really benefit by these things that we've been discovering. And slowly this idea of an online interface emerged. An idea that you could, through very playful, engaging, intuitive environments, online environments that you could interact with, explore, that people could both learn about the different ways that energy is moving in their lives or not moving in their lives, and have that reflected back to them.
When someone goes into the interface and they begin exploring it, it's really a journey that's about the beauty of what they're witnessing, these really interesting comparisons that they're being asked to make and questions they're being asked, and we don't lay out for them what's even happening necessarily. So there's this sense of like mystery, like what is this thing, like what is this doing, you know? But as far as their journey goes into it, it's about creating a space where they feel invited to explore, really, and not just learn or have to learn these teachings or whatever, but to explore and get a real sense of feedback about themselves from that exploration.
Dylan sent me an email saying he was interested in exploring the relationship between dance movement and spiral dynamics. which was very interesting to me. So I also have a theatre background, and I'm interested in how this way of thinking shows up in different domains of life. So we had a chat and very quickly connected.
We calculated how many questions we think we're dealing with, and based on how long it takes people to do other existing tests, among which the spiral dynamics test, we estimate that doing these first 3 primary tests will take you an hour.
There may be just one extra question you need to ask, which would put all of the data which you gather from the 6 into a dynamic context, which is about a kind of, well, so are you feeling you're somewhere now that you've been for a while and you're perfectly happy about it? Are you beginning to get a little itchy about your life in general? Or are you feeling really trapped and stuck? Or are you feeling that you're on your way to something new, not quite there yet? Or are you feeling you've just arrived somewhere?
The question now for us is, can we build that layer into here? Because then we're set, then we're like, mwah. But we don't need a separate test to do that.
Spiral dynamics is one of the maps that we work with, which is an understanding of how people and communities and groups of people develop through stages of development, and the dynamics of that development, and what the different stages are that they tend to hang around in for a while before moving on. I think the most unique thing is the integration of the body into research about what are stages of development, what are types of people, what are states of consciousness, rather than to do it purely through a theoretical lens, really to do it through what happens when we ask our bodies this question, and what kind of data and information do we get from that.